Good day and welcome to our virtual bar, Ole Talk United. You know how we just do it at the United Hour. Cheers to all of you and cheers to
Cheers.
the gentlemen in the panel.
Cheers.
So we got Devin down there in Miami. We got the boy Greg B. And we got a special guest today, the man Tim Russell from the program Soccer as We Like It on YouTube. Tim, welcome to the United Hour. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. Thank you very much. An honor to be here with you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Nice. We also gonna have some other people falling in. You know how it is, do to whoever come late. They had to bring our wrongs, you know.
100%, mate. 100%.
Facts.
But
Facts.
before we start to talk about United stuff, we had to talk. We had some guys. We had some heavy rollers in the house today. Some guys drinking some premium drinks. So we had to talk about the premium drinks. Let's start off with the man Greg B. Greg B, what are you drinking down there?
All right, so this one is actually a Romanian drink that I discovered while I was doing a little grocery shopping. It's called Freeze, and this one is the Blue Hawaii mix. Tastes pretty good. Not a bad.
I just trying to understand what Romanians know about Blue Hawaii. What Romanians know about
We live in a global world today, mate.
Maybe a Romanian went on vacation in Hawaii and he got a drink and I was like, hey, I should probably bottle this.
Who knows? And the man in Canada, what you hear me, Canada? The man in Miami, what you drinking, Devin?
So here I got a little something. I had to break this out in honor of the only success we have this season. So I had to bust out the limited edition Chivas Royal.
Nice.
Unfortunately, though,
pull out the bottle and show them.
The worst problem now is I celebrate a little too hard already. So I gotta make sure that this lasts too long. Yeah. So but definitely will be worth
all
it.
I'm watching that bottle and I'm saying to myself is, I just heard this song like, you want to bamba? You want to chill with the drink?
Man drinking some Chivas Regal. Good afternoon to Martin Phillip. Good afternoon to Valentino Singh. So, gentlemen, a lot of stuff going on in Manchester United this week. We have people fighting in training and things. So, I mean, what do you all think about that? Who? Let's get into it. Who do you think was fighting?
So far, they said it was Maguire and Jesse Lingard. I'm saying in my personal opinion, these two guys who should have, they should be fighting on the field to deliver good football, but they're fighting in training, which it doesn't make sense. And towards the end of the season, hey, it's just nonsense. It really is. If it's true that it's two of them, it's just that both of them are just incompetent players anyway, so it doesn't even matter. They're just I'm really disappointed.
Well, we are 100% sure that there was an altercation. I'm hearing different names. So Tim said he's heard it's Jesse Lingard and Harry Maguire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Who else? Who else people heard fighting? Darren. Welcome to the virtual bar. What you drinking there, Darren?
The one and only, unprecedented.
I hear that, bro. So, who did you hear? Who did you hear fight, Darren, in training?
I heard it was Maguire and Bruno.
You heard it was Maguire and Bruno.
Captain and vice captain fighting.
And that would make the most sense. Because, I mean, quite frankly, for far too long, everybody in the squad kind of fed up on Maguire. And, Bruno being as vocal as he is when we see him on the pitch, he always be see whining. I think he's someone that is very vocal and very passionate about winning as an individual and then about the club. So, I mean, after seeing, I don't want to say lack of leadership, but lack of initiative from the captain. Yes, some may say that he always points to what is wrong, but for some reason he tends to not take care of it. But I mean, after the season Maguire had, I could understand why somebody would tell Maguire about what he was doing, and I would want to believe that he would be upset about probably the approach I was probably taken and the delivery, because I'm pretty certain it wouldn't be
Well,
a simple conversation.
I heard some people talking today online, and they were saying, like it was apparently they heard that rumor as well that it was Maguire and Bruno Fernandez, and they were saying like it was a kind of like a Fight Club vibes where everybody make a circle and say, yeah, who wanna be the captain for next season? Jump in. And Maguire and Bruno went in at it.
See, I heard two different names. So
No, well, I know that's why I'm going wrong because I know different people hearing different things. So let's
But my source is tier one, so my source is wait says.
I hear you, brother. Who welcome to Raul, the original number 7. Who did you hear was in the fight?
So I heard it was De Gea and McTominay actually.
De Gea.
Same.
De Gea McTominay.
I'll tell you something. Out of all the names that I've heard bantied about, I find it very difficult to envision David De Gea fighting with anybody.
True.
I find it very
He
difficult
doesn't
to
look like he
actually
can fight.
envision Harry Maguire fighting with anybody because Harry Maguire doesn't come across to me like the aggressive.
Well, I mean,
Unless he's in Greece.
Unless, yes.
Risk or being called out.
oh wow.
Yes.
And
Right?
I am the
But not
captain.
just being
Wow.
called out. I don't think words.
Give me
I
leeway.
don't
I'm the captain of United.
I don't just think words will rub Harry the wrong way. That's just me. The one person out of all the names that I heard, the 2 people that I think could definitely be one, even though these 2 names haven't been mentioned together, it's definitely Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay looks like the kind of person that doesn't mind initiating violence. And Jesse Lingard, simply because he's on his way out and he don't really care. Right? Not that he's a violent person, but it's like, I don't really care. Right? I not really business. So I don't know who was fighting. I don't know that we'll ever know because I know the club
So
made
you don't
a
think
point
Bruno?
of.
You don't think Bruno could start Harry? I can see that. And he get trained from other teammates because he know they will back him.
Now, well, once it's Bruno and
Bro,
Harry,
Darren, why is it?
remember we know for a fact that there's a Portuguese faction and an English faction in terms of UT in the team. So once those 2 men clash,
And a waiting French faction.
yeah, immediately
There's
there's
a-
a line. Go ahead.
There's
Ed
a
Al.
good faction. There's a good faction and a shit faction. So I feel Harry fall in our shit faction. Jesse.
I think there's a European faction and a British faction. That's the way I see it. Because you have the Spanish who would join with the more European players than the English players. You have
The
the gay and
Portuguese
Mata,
players and the Brazilians joining with the Portuguese as well.
because the Brazilians they speak Portuguese.
They
Which
speak
is
Portuguese, correct? Yeah.
yeah, so it's going to be the English against literally half of the
Yep,
dressing.
correct.
So yeah. And
I hear
Ole
you.
always supported the English version than the European version.
Tim,
When Ole
I
was-
just feel that Harry get called out and that hey, you are SHIT. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're not
I
even
think
good
so.
enough to be.
So-
You're not even good enough to be captain.
So
100%.
what I heard is that McTominay got pissed off at De Gea because De Gea was calling people out like in his interview saying we're not good enough, we need to be better as a team, and his distribution was not being good, and he kept on with his distribution hitting the opposing team, and McTominay called him out on it.
I mean, I will excuse the guy this season, honestly, because he has saved us from more humiliation than. I mean, the whole season, I'll just say Ronaldo and the guy have saved this whole team. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. So anyone calling them to needs to look at themselves. Anyone else needs to look at themselves.
Can I ask Tim a question? Tim, if we, and I think we have done this before, but I want to ask you this question. Based on what we had building before we got CR7, what would you say how our season would have been without CR7?
I mean, all right.
With the team that we had before and the chemistry and whatnot.
Right.
What do you think? I'm posing that to everybody. What do you all think where we would have been?
But if we look at how it started for last season, towards the end of last season, we literally struggled. Liverpool beat us at home 4-2, which gave them the Champions League spot where they are today from last season. We lost at home to them 4-2. So look at Liverpool last season compared to this season. The teams that struggled last season are twice as good this season. Liverpool were injury prone last season. Look at them this season. We didn't have injuries last season. Look at us this season, complete opposite. CR7 is not the blame. The problem is other teams just improved us. They just moved up another level. We never moved up. That's the problem. And some of our players just realized they're not as good as they actually are. That Ole has always said they're good. We are not as good as we actually believe we are. That's the problem.
You know, I
And
remember we had
even if CR7 wasn't there and the Mason Greenwood situation happened, then where we would have been? Because Rashford was off form, is still off form. Where would the goals have come from? Cavani is always injured.
we had an English friend of mine called William on a Thursday show a couple months ago, and he was saying that the players are just shit.
Yeah.
And he's been telling me that for a while.
It is
right?
true.
Ole was still in charge at the time. He's been telling me that for a while. He's been saying, watch, the players at United are not good enough. And there's somebody who, goes to games regularly whenever he gets a chance to go to the
100%.
mainland because he lives in the Canary Islands. And, and I just found it hard to wrap my mind around the players being bad. But I have to come around to that way of thinking. I have to agree with Tim that I think we were deceived into thinking that
100%,
these
mate.
players
100%.
were good. And the way that you ask yourself the question is,
Well,
all right, let's
well,
look at
Chad,
our
you know the saying.
I have a slightly I have a,
just know, Darren. What
No,
was it just
Greg B, what's you saying?
I'm saying that when you sit in shit too long, it stops smelling.
Yeah, hold on. Greg, I saw you. Greg, I saw you. But that's like how when they lie around too much English, people they sound like you.
Okay.
And what's wrong with that? We actually
Darren,
have an English
That's my
mix of
boy.
them.
Greg,
Darren, I'm gonna-
you know his love. You know his love. You know us how to get Greg, I need to like you sometimes because I think I might get a better singing voice and get some more girls.
Okay, and that some things just can't be taught, bro. Some things just can't be taught. Some things just can't be taught.
I'm going to show this question to you, Darren, and you could bring in your point that you wanted to bring in.
Hey, well, excuse
And
me, I will give a drink.
the question I'm going to throw out there is simply this. When you look at our midfield, right, the way to really compare the quality at Manchester United, we're looking at Scott McTominay and Fred. And the simple question is, will Scott McTominay and or Fred start in any of the other top teams in England? Would they start for City? Would they start for Liverpool? Would they start for Arsenal? Would they start for Spurs? Right now, when you look at West Ham, would they get in West Ham's team? And
Fred
if
might
the
start for
answer to
Spurs.
that is no, then the bottom line is Manchester United midfield is shit. What say you, Dan?
100%, mate.
the only one out of that duo I see might manage to scrape in any squad, maybe Fred, not McTominay.
Which squad? Which squad Fred could scrape in?
Maybe Spurs.
I don't think so, man.
Spurs.
Probably Everton.
Over which player? Which player would you take out of
I
Spurs?
want to
for
know
Fred?
because I know this fella, what is his name?
Which one?
The CDM at Spurs, the main one. He just play every game.
Oh,
Højbjerg?
I know who you mean.
Højbjerg. I know he and starting ahead of Højbjerg.
Listen, Fred under the right system is an elite player, and we see his improvement. If there was an award for most improved player, Fred would have gotten it. Fred has improved. He has goals in his game this season. He's omnipresent. He's omnipresent on the pitch. The biggest flaw Fred has is even though some people using statistics to say otherwise, based on the eye test, is his passing and decision making. But
100%.
Fred on multiple occasions has pressed high, won the ball back first, put it in good places, and he has improved vastly. So the Fred that we have grown to know,
we
and the Fred
wouldn't.
that he can be, because listen, Fred for Brazil starts. Fred starts for Brazil, and
Because
there's
he's
a
in a bet.
lot
He's in a
of
good
quality
team.
players. There's a lot of quality players on the Brazil team. So
Thank you, Tim.
I don't understand for the life of me why we want to relegate
Yeah,
Fred
but
to some random.
in your own words, Darren, you know, the only person who might scrape, right? Who might scrape in is
That's
Fred.
based on the system that the teams play.
So no one have
That's
to
based on
become.
the system that the teams play.
Of course,
And
you had a
any
fit in the team, you know.
well, right. And I'm saying, what I'm saying is Fred has qualities
Let's face it.
that a top team. Look, for instance, look at Fernandinho today. Fred would
Yeah,
have.
but
Fred
Fernandinho
would
was
have.
playing out of position. Fernandinho was playing centre back.
Okay.
So what do you think Fred's been doing for the last few seasons?
What do you
Okay.
mean? Fred is playing
Okay.
midfield.
Okay. What I'm saying is,
Yeah, but
Fred,
he's not a 6.
He's not.
Fred is a box-to-box midfielder. We have been asking Fred to play at 6, and he's not a 6. And that's why he looks as bad as he does. Once he plays as a box-to-box midfielder, he looks much better. Once he has a license to go forward, because mind you, as a 6, you have to have the ability to either one, retain the ball, or two, have the vision to pass it. And there are different types of a 6. He cannot retain the ball because once your body and be falling off the ball, which is very questionable. And he doesn't have that vision to move the ball as fast. So he would add to the defensive aspect and he would add to the attacking aspect. As you see this season, he had added more goals to his game because he had a license to go forward a little more. So I think Fred would make any one of the top teams based on the strategy they may employ. McTominay on the other hand.
Sorry. Not laughing at you, Darren. Laughing at that comment. Sorry.
Yeah, McTominay on the other hand. McTominay needs to go play for Burnley or Stoke or some championship team. McTominay is not good enough.
No, if you're looking at go on.
Go ahead.
If you're looking at 3 players in United who could play in City, Liverpool, Chelsea, I would only say Ronaldo, De Gea, and a consistent Pogba. I mean, consistent Pogba, not the inconsistent Pogba we've had this season. Other than those 3, no one else will start in Liverpool, Chelsea, or Man City. None this season. Not the back 4, no way. The midfield, no way.
I have to agree with that totally because I was going to call out players one by one. I was going to start talking about like Rashford and call out guys.
No
but the truth is, it don't even make sense because these guys would not start. I mean, I am telling you.
Even Bruno start in Man City.
Yeah, but De Gea not starting. De Gea is not starting on no top team in England right now.
He would start over Lloris.
He will start over Tottenham goalkeeper 100%, mate.
Yes, Lloris. Yes, for sure.
Is not a modern goalkeeper. He's an excellent shot stopper. But when you watch the goalkeepers that are in the teams in the top 4, top 5, the goalkeepers, with the exception of Lloris, because I hear Devin say that Lloris will play like that.
Or here's another one, Ramsdale. Actually, he might start over Ramsdale as well too.
They all play as sweepers. De Gea is not a sweeper. All top teams goalkeepers play as sweepers. We cannot negate that fact. Today we see it with Edison. Mendy does it all the time. Allison does it all the time. Ramsdale occasionally does it. Right? Lloris doesn't do it. That's the only keeper in who higher than us that doesn't do it.
What about Ramsdale? So you think that Ramsdale would start over De Gea?
No, well, I would say Ramsdale.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Ramsdale.
All 3 of them, De Gea starting ahead of. Because Fabianski is a shot stopper too. He's on a ball playing goalkeeper.
Well, all those keepers, all those teams you mentioned, they have better defenders than we have.
Well, of course,
so they don't do as much stopping down De Gea does.
Yeah, but the goalkeeper adds to that as well. That's what I'm saying.
Would you say that Mendy's footwork and distribution is good as well too?
He ain't that good, bro. He ain't that good.
That's why Mendy is a giant, so I will give him that. The man's
he has a better defense in front of him.
That too,
and a CDM in front of them.
So I think he might have a fair argument at Chelsea as well too.
He
I
not
mean,
starting in front of Mendy. Sorry.
the bottom line is I could see Mendy, Chelsea keeping Mendy ahead of the hair, but not Spurs, not West Ham, and not Arsenal. Because Ramsdale, more than anything else, is a shot stopper. That's what
Correct.
Ramsdale is, right? And then
He's a
you
shot
have-
stopper and a shit talker, and that's it.
right. So but I think so. In effect, we are all saying the same thing, that the
100%.
team quality wise is not good enough. And I'm gonna tell you something.
100%. And we've been
Even if-
the second place and third place position we finished. It just papered over the cracks. Think
Mhm.
about it.
even
It
if
just papered over
Manchester
the cracks.
United,
Yeah, but I had something to say that I didn't get to say. We saying that the players are not good enough. But if we look at the side on paper and the quality and where we were last season, with a better manager at the helm from the beginning of the season with the introduction of the players that we did introduce, we supposed to be in top 4. We introduced Sancho, Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo, to a team with a running Rashford, a Bruno Fernandes. Come on, we supposed to be in the top 4.
You
Now listen,
supposed to be on paper good, but
supposed
on
to
the
be.
field,
yeah,
Agreed.
but
Agreed.
the problem was with the management of the players. Yes, we know how the helm and all the way up to the top roughly. We understand that. Ole was getting certain things done. But when he introduced these players, I don't understand why he wasn't getting that chemistry right. He wasn't getting the chemistry right.
you know, he wasn't playing Sancho when
So-
the first couple of Sancho was always on the bench or didn't even come on.
So the
I
one
don't
thing
think
that's
that
Ole
not a
knows
problem.
what to do with
so
quality
so
players.
so so Darren, I would say the one thing that I fault Ole for is I feel he played favoritism. And so
100%.
I feel that caused a lot of issues with team chemistry, and that's where you're starting to see the result that you have now. It also created egos with players who are some of those favorites
Yes.
who are not good enough, and now they
Yes.
feel a certain level of entitlement where they should be playing at, even though they're not.
100%.
Exactly.
And then you run into a situation like Eric Bailly, where he's questioning how certain defenders, we know who I'm talking about, is making mistakes every match, and is still starting above him every single time.
100%.
And that will cause a tension and a discourse
Yes.
amongst the players.
Yes,
So you have
yes,
quality
yes,
players who not playing.
correct.
Even when they're on the pitch, they're not playing because they're not in the right place.
Manchester United has been managed like a secondary school team in Trinidad and Tobago, or even our national teams.
Correct.
Or
yeah, well,
teams
you know,
whereby the
the
favoritism, the it's who you know, who you like, who's your friend that counts, and that's a whole set of hogwash. And we paying the price for it, and we paying the price for lack of evolution with the game and the way we have done business and how we have
100%.
developed.
100%.
Right? And I just have one more thing to say. You all could agree with me or not, but I think that Anthony Martial is one of the best talents that we've had, but we just need to ensure that he always have an outside woman and he'll play well. That's it.
So
I agree with you.
I think Martial is one of those types of players where unless he's playing every single match, he starts to get like a bruised ego, and his results start to get worse.
Right.
And so it's
We don't need him weak.
and so it's a very weak-minded mentality. It's like you got to understand you're not going to play every single match, but when you do get the chance to come on, you need to make sure you give 100%.
Corner girl, corner woman is the answer.
But you look at it like,
Martial
go on.
is just, as you all said, mentally weak. And, you know, it doesn't matter how talented you are. I mean, one of the most talented strikers I have ever seen in my life is this boy from Spain. He came to England. He first went to Liverpool. Then he went to Chelsea.
Torres.
Fernando Torres is one of the most naturally gifted, talented strikers ever.
I think he was the only striker to actually embarrass Vidic, in my opinion.
Right? And when
Didn't have
he
enough
went to Chelsea, when he's having a bad time in his social life, his ability on the field just fails. And I will rather somebody who is a lot more mentally tough and a little less technical that could give me 110 every game. So I really do. I hope Martial, we get somebody to buy Martial. Not because I dislike the player, but you
Just
don't
to see his
need
career.
Okay.
Just to
Yeah,
see
we
his
don't
career
need-
actually stretch
Let
back.
me say this. So
No, Clive.
when
We don't think we
Martial
should keep
was
Martial.
mentally
No, Clive.
weak, when Martial was mentally weak in his performances, he's a very talented player, but he's mentally weak, right? Radford has done literally the same mentally weak attitude this season. He doesn't get the same stick as Martial. Why? English, British, different passport, French passport, and it's
No,
not fair.
well, the
It's not
British
fair.
media.
No,
The
Tim,
British
Tim,
media
Tim,
might
he
They
give
give
always
him
him
that
protect.
stick,
he
They
give
always
him
protect
plenty
English
stick, you
players.
know.
but we just give him stick here. I don't know. The British media might give him
Yeah.
stick, but we just give
No,
Rashford
they won't
stick.
give the
Oh,
cover
Rashford.
up.
Oh, Rashford. Yeah, Rashford. No. Everybody giving Rashford the whole. Listen.
He
for the
said he
most
wants
part-
Ten Hag to give him guarantees. How dare you?
What the?
Guarantee
Yeah.
for what?
Listen, I read something before I came onto the show, and it exemplifies our problem at United. Manchester City is possibly going to sell Gabriel Jesus, one of the best players. He can start on any side, and they're going to sell him while we still holding on to Rashford, who was poor for entire season.
Homegrown.
We are too sentimental at the club. Now understand the history of the club, and the club has history, and we want to remember our history. But we need to evolve. If we want to win,
100%.
we need to watch the business side of football as opposed to the sentimental side of football. Come on. Team evolving. Look, Liverpool.
And we have
Liverpool
enough.
bring us
We have
five
enough
in
homegrown talents
January.
that we can replace Martial easy. You know, we have enough homegrown
So-
talents that can replace Rashford pretty
So
easy.
I have a question for the panel right now. Would you give Rashford until the January transfer window to show that he deserves to stay, or do you want him gone this window coming up?
January is
No,
unreasonable.
January.
Is unreasonable.
January.
Yeah,
is
January.
unreasonable.
January.
I
Alright.
don't want to hear nothing about Marcus feed the children Rashford.
Correct.
But this is the thing back home in England. It's
AKA
a
the Black
situation
Mother
whereby
Teresa.
they give the English players the benefit of doubt. As bad as Maguire has been, they don't call him out. But when Lindelof makes a mistake, they call him out. When McTominay makes a mistake, they
Look,
don't call him out. They call out
Roy Keane
Pogba.
called out Maguire countless times. Roy Keane called
Because
out
it
Maguire
was too
countless times.
obvious. It was too obvious. He had to call him out. But Rio Ferdinand, Phil, Gary Neville, they won't. They keep giving them benefit. Same thing Lingard. As bad as Lingard is,
I agree
they
with
won't
him.
call him out. They
I
won't.
agree with him.
But Lindelof has been relatively solid this season when he's
He
played.
is.
He has. Yes.
And on another point that what Tim was mentioning about Pogba, I know a lot of people don't like Pogba. They don't like his attitude.
Right.
They don't like his But let me tell you something.
Phil.
If Pogba stayed healthy, Phil, behave yourself.
Yeah, behave yourself.
He can do-
That's
he can do
why
that.
Brazil will rip up your
He
team. in the
cannot. He
World Cup.
cannot do that. He cannot do that. He don't know how to
But
be.
what I'm saying is, if Pogba stayed healthy this season, I think it would have made a big difference to where we finished this season.
100%.
Because Pogba came out with a totally different attitude at the beginning of the season,
4 assists in the first game.
right?
Well,
He had 7 in the first 3. But what I'm saying is, I think the injuries, the coming back too soon, a lot, and then his agent talking a whole packaloo all the time was just
Yeah, but
just
that's
distractions.
been the story of
I wanna-
Paul Pogba's Manchester United career.
I wanna transition
God
the
rest his soul, though.
conversation
God rest
away
his soul.
from the horribleness of our players. I just need to touch on 2 things. Big Phil beat me to it because I was gonna tell Darren. I talked to some City fans, and I could tell you there are a lot of City
What,
people
all 2 of them?
that don't rate. Yeah, all 2 of them. They don't rate Gabriel Jesus at all. They have no problem seeing Gabriel Jesus go to Arsenal, and not because they're getting Haaland. Even if they wasn't getting Haaland, they have no problem seeing his eye.
And then,
Let's-
and then they
let's-
also
let's-
they also
listen.
have that they have that South American kid coming, Julian Alvarez
I
as well. So, yeah.
view Arsenal as a distant rival, but a rival nonetheless. I don't mind Jesus going to Arsenal because I don't think he make them better either. But
No.
TJ,
Chad. If
the
he was
man having
getting,
an okay season this season.
if he was getting Gabriel enough free, you wouldn't take him.
No, I don't want him.
No.
I don't want
Nah.
Jesus by
No.
my team at all.
Nah.
No.
Jesus,
Give it-
Jesus, you know who Jesus reminds me of?
Give it
Danny
Anthony.
Welbeck. He has a good match every once in a while, but he's not consistent enough to be playing at a club like that.
He doesn't play often enough.
Jesus,
He does not
Pep
play
would
often
Pep
enough.
would rather use a false nine system than use Jesus as a starting striker. That tells you all you need to know.
Listen, that we could assume, we could draw inferences. That's conjecture. We could say what we want. At the end of the day, if the man started to play a little more often at the end of the season, and the man started to look like some kind of where this man coming from? Let me read here.
Hold on. All I'm gonna say, Darren, is that I don't really rate him either, but I thoroughly enjoy the fact that the man is filling out his form like he's filling out forms to the passport office, because that form will take him straight into the World Cup. And I
100%.
am a Brazil fan without apology, so I am glad for that. But I still don't
100%,
want him at my club. Okay, I'll keep Fred.
Well,
I will keep Fred, and I will take Anthony or this other Brazilian boy any day.
Neres,
Charlison?
No, oh gosh, the
David
man
Neres?
sick. No.
What team? What team?
He strike. Trying to remember what team he's playing for. Gotta excuse, man. Because I kind of wake up just.
So
before the message chat.
All right. While you're thinking about that, to comment on Big Phil's comment, I would take Martinelli on a free. Talking about Gabriel's.
Hey, Martinelli is
Martinelli.
I would.
I'm on the fence with him. He has his standout moments, but he's not
I don't-
consistent.
I don't want nobody to mistake what I'm saying. I'm not in Gabriel corner saying he's a world class. I'm just saying he has qualities that will work very well at United. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Well,
but
we'll see how things transpire coming along. Before we get back and dive back into United stuff, it's been confirmed that the Caribbean zone, Dwight York, is going to be coaching one of the teams in the Australian
A-League.
Premier League. It's
In
full
A-League.
coaching opportunity.
A-League.
Chad, can I just have one comment to make on that?
The MacArthur's.
One question. Don't you all find that it's quite ironic that he is coaching a team that's named after a Scotch?
The MacArthur's. I know.
Leave it to Raul to come up with something like that.
No, I honestly thought he's going to say, isn't it ironic? He's coaching a team that is down under, but we'll leave that for next day.
Darren, come
That's
down from
exactly
there.
what I thought he was going
Come
to say.
down from
Yeah.
there.
No, I left the down under thing. I left that alone. I was just ready. Because I said MacArthur, I said, what the irony?
Yeah.
Based on the man's history of
Yeah.
environment and his yet still prolific ability on the field. It's
So
we Chinese and those who know his history or deep in the club, we just find that absolutely ironic and funny.
Exactly.
So when it comes to Dwight York, it's I think the British media still sees him as that party playboy that couldn't be serious enough
100%.
to handle a club in England. So it seems like he's taking the Patrick Vieira approach, where you have a foreign player who wants to become a manager in England. And what did Patrick Vieira do? He came to the US, coached up in New York, and then he earned his credentials there. Then he went to France at Nice, I think it was, and now he's at Crystal Palace, and he's pretty much about to be Arteta's replacement, I think. So we'll see. But I think that Dwight York, this is his chance to prove that he can get away from that party lifestyle and show he could be serious about coaching a side. And then maybe he'll get a championship or League One side to give him the opportunity. And if he does well there, then he can move up. So we'll see.
I think Vieira has done well for Crystal Palace, considering the budget is very
He's
small.
done very well. He's done very well at Crystal
And
Palace.
he's done well.
And that's why I made that comment that if Arteta leaves, Arsenal gets sacked, that Patrick Vieira is right there in the waiting.
Tim, I'm gonna told you a friend told me when Crystal Palace played Arsenal in both fixtures this season, Patrick Vieira was the best midfielder for both teams.
Tell that to Zaha.
He was one of the
Tell that
best.
to Wilfried Zaha.
When there was the Arsenal United battle back in the late 90s, that was rivalry, not the Liverpool Man City rivalry. That was
that rivalry was
Arsenal United
incredible.
was the main events back in the day.
Yes,
To
it
see
was.
the two teams down this low, it shows how far both teams have dropped. But Vieira on his day, it was Vieira,
my
Keane,
God.
Alexander Wenger, Nistelrooy, and Martin Keown. It was battle. But with
Yes.
rivalry between City and Liverpool, it doesn't have the same element. Like
Yeah, they're
Arsenal
sitting,
has.
they're sitting there, they're hugging after the match and all of this, acting like best friends talking on the pitch. When
No,
you go
no.
back in those days,
Fergie and Wenger wouldn't even look at each other during
Yes.
We live in a
Correct.
we're living in a Twinkie era, you know.
Yeah.
We're living we're in an era that's too soft.
Well-
Everybody's too sensitive.
Well, the officiating has become such that has helped the game to become soft,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
and help
That's
the
true.
game to become to me. I looking at some stuff and I say, but this is a
Yes.
fast.
You
I
could,
say
you could
I used to
imagine,
when I used to play football, I used to be taking some kind of hits like wow,
you
and I
could
used to be
imagine,
sharing some
Roy
too.
Keane, watch it. Roy Keane.
imagine Vinny
Imagine-
Jones in the game today.
Imagine
Nah,
Roy Keane.
God,
Jones,
nah,
Imagine
I feel like
Roy
a
Keane
man.
in the
Nah.
dugout.
Oh, shoot.
I watched a video before I came on with Roy Keane.
Mm.
Roy Keane literally used to take his grievances on the pitch.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
Yes.
He said when he
did.
crosses that white line, it's war. We are not friends.
That's it.
We
So-
are not friends.
Brother,
Once he crosses
you
that
talk
white
smack
line,
to
it's
him.
war.
You talk
That's it.
smack to him off the pitch. He's waiting
Mhm.
on the pitch to end your career.
Everybody remembers that
Ask
infamous
Alan
bust
Father.
up between him and Vieira in the hybrid tunnel. Before that,
Oh, yeah.
Darren, you talking about ending careers? Look at what he did to Holland Senior.
That's it. That's it.
Exactly.
Ask Alan Father. Ask Alan
Yes.
Father. That's
One
what
thing
I'm saying.
about Roy Keane, it wasn't just a matter of well, you talk crap to me, before we came on the pitch, or you talk crap to me last week. It could have been the first time we play each other 6 months ago.
Yeah, he holds grudges.
Yes.
You
Yes.
don't forget.
The man with
Yeah,
5 years.
as the man with the elephant
Roy
brain.
Keane as a footballer. Roy Keane as a footballer. When it came to winning and losing, it was synonymous to life and death with him.
Yes.
Yes.
That
Roy
mentality,
Keane
the philosophy in the
with
brain,
5 years.
that is winning. When you wear the badge, we're going in for war. We're not here to shake hands and play the game like a
Correct.
charity. It's 3 points. We won trophies at the end of the season.
Yeah.
These
Even-
clowns at the
I'm
moment
sure.
don't have
I'm
a
sure
clue.
when he shook hands with some of the players, he'd be like, "I'm going to break your leg." It's like,
If
But
our
like
players-
even
if our
even
players
even
had that
Rooney,
level of
even
urgency, if our players had that level of urgency as it pertains to how we felt about the game and how we approach
Yes.
games, like Roy
Yeah.
Keane, we would be in a much better.
That's what
Even,
I'm saying.
even with their limited skill, as we may say, even with their limited skill. the-
have
What's
you
right?
have
Isaiah,
have you have you heard Wayne Rooney's
Isaiah.
comments about Paul Pogba and Jesse Lingard? What Wayne Rooney said about them? Where he said it was one time after they lost a match. I can't remember if it was a derby or something like that. And they
Mm.
go into training
he
the
went
next
in
day.
there and he saw them
in
dancing.
the training room. They're dancing and listening to music the day
You
after
see,
losing a
that's what
match.
I'm saying.
And I'm sitting there and I'd be thinking like, are you kidding me?
Like, dude, we just lost the game the other day. Why are you?
Yeah,
What
we
reason
just
is there for you to be
lost
dancing
yesterday.
right now?
What are you
should be coming.
celebrating?
You should be
What
coming
is
with the
that
mentality of
about?
what do we do wrong? How do we correct it? How do we make up for it
Yeah.
the next match?
So
Not
you
sitting
see
there
the
dancing and doing all this
mentality
stuff.
of the players
Like
today.
I'll even give you more example. You see in the video clip of Pogba injured doing his rehab.
Yeah, dancing.
Yes.
Calf exercises.
Not
Yeah.
get me started on that.
Yeah, because you know why? I can tell you why. Because United has fostered a culture at United where
We've pampered too many of these players.
That's
we-
the
we-
problem.
we
So they
beg
think they're
players-
privileged. I
we
must
beg
start.
players to play for us. We beg players to play for us, give them big wages. So they don't care about the result. They're being paid highly anyway.
Exactly.
Whatever.
And you
No,
know that
Stealing a living.
You hit the nail on the head there, and that's what I am so afraid with Garnacho right now about. Like exactly what you just said.
Which
I'm
is
afraid
why
that-
we need to get rid of the guys that foster that kind of mentality.
Correct.
The minute they're out,
Correct.
and he sees that Ten Hag mean business.
I hope he
Everything
stands by
changes.
his word.
The
I
young
hope
players
he
need
does.
to come
As
in
you're
that
talking
culture.
about those players, I remember the guy is Lucas Paqueta from Olympic Lyonnais.
Mm. Because these players,
Oh, yeah, he plays for
they will
Lyon. I know
down
what you're talking
tools
about, yeah.
and get the manager fired. Because that's what they are. If a manager is too strict, they don't like that.
They've done that to the last 3 managers.
There you go. They're just down tools. Look, think about it.
Sell them.
Ralph
Sell
said,
them,
I want to
sell
play
them.
high energy, high press. You need to come in twice a day for training. They didn't like that. They don't like that extra work because
no, they
never done extra work for them.
So
They want
they did it for
come
one half.
on your own time.
They did it for one half and realized, oh shit, there's too much running for me.
Against
So we
Crystal
did
Palace.
that.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Everybody saying Ten Hag is a fraud. I'm sorry, Ralph is a fraud.
No, the
Rangnick is
players
a
don't
fraud.
want to do
No,
what they want to
the
do.
They
players
show
not
the
paying
players show they could do it.
collectively,
The
man.
players
How are
show
you
that they
going?
could do it for one half.
It's
Yeah.
basically like repairing a car. You cannot blame three different mechanics if the same parts are giving the same kind of issues.
It answers perfect.
Greg,
Think about it.
it's
Simple.
very rare he speaks so much truth.
If I tell you Ole did more damage, Ole did more damage than people actually think.
You know,
Ole caused
this
more
is
damage
ironic
to
from
that
a man
team.
who was in politics. This is ironic coming from a man who's in politics. So don't go down that road with me, please. Do not go
Seriously.
down that road with me, please.
Seriously. Ole did more damage than people think he did. He caused more damage. He over pampered the players. Even when players were off form, he guaranteed them you're still gonna play. Off form, no, you're still gonna play. The ones that were injured were rushed.
It took him kind of far, to be honest, but it's only so far those things can take you.
Exactly, and he was protecting his job. So
want
he
to
used
know-
the same team
You want to
over
know
and
what
over.
exposed them? You want to know what exposed Ole? The fact that we made so many semifinals and mid-finals and never won anything.
No, and
It
he had
takes
the
a different
audacity.
level. It takes a different level of prowess. It takes a different level of competence, a different level of team spirit to win a final. You need to play for each other. You need to dig deep.
That's it.
You need to
And-
have that quality intrinsically embedded into the team. Not
You have
a
to.
bunch
You
of
basically
mercenaries.
have to want it together as one. That's
Correct.
again is it.
You can't take a bunch of mercenaries coming together to get a result like that. It don't work like that.
But for a guy who played under one of the greatest managers and won a lot of trophies, to now say winning trophies is not important is stupid. Because when you put that mentality to the players, say like, oh, you don't need to win a trophy. You do need to win a trophy.
Wait,
Man
who
City
said
and
that?
Liverpool are better than us. They're fighting for every trophy, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. We are not winning anything. 5 years, no trophies. But it's okay. No, it's not okay.
Who
It's
said
not.
that? Who said it was
United
okay
was
to
so
not
far
win
from
Ole,
grace.
because he was
No,
trying to talk back to Jose Mourinho, who said, I won 3 trophies. He said it's not about trophies. It is about trophies.
Now,
But
well,
it's a winning mentality.
We
Ole was
fall so
supposed to
far
get
from
sacked
grace, we don't even
instantly.
get best field trophy again. Best
Oh, sure.
stadium trophy. We don't get no trophy at all.
Spurs win that.
5
Imagine
seasons,
Spurs
bro.
win
5,
that.
going on 6.
Imagine Spurs win that. We United, unfortunately, and it is riding me. It is irking me. It is very difficult for me to say this, but we literally are the new Arsenal. You know that, right?
100% banter club.
Top
We
4 is a
have-
freaking trophy now.
I would have never admitted this.
You're late to the
Well,
party, Robert. Robert and I
18 months.
saying that 2 years now.
Hmm.
2 years
No,
now,
I
Robert and I
was
saying,
fighting it. I was fighting
saying
it.
that Manchester United is the new Arsenal.
Damn, we've been
But
saying that.
But
Arsenal,
we are a
we've been
banter
saying
club.
that.
We're laughed at. We're a
but
joke.
I just
It
still
is what
banter
it
them,
is.
I banter Arsenal any day. I don't care. I banter
But
them
Arsenal is still
any day.
Arsenal,
Yeah,
so they could
That's
go
my whole
banter.
point. Remember, there's like people will be in a bad position and in a worse position than us and still give us talk. I mean,
I want to adjust Tim with this one. Tim, there's something we say here, right? We say that Arsenal usually does Arsenal things like what they're doing
Arsenal
now.
things. Correct.
But now we say that Manchester is doing Arsenal things.
100%. It is what it is.
Because
The funny thing
we
is,
had
if
that
we
top four in
United
our
fans-
grasp.
Right
And
there.
we did Arsenal
Right there.
things. Right there.
If we United fans accepted that we are not as good as we think we are, then there won't be a problem because we have high expectation. Fine. But these players will never meet expectation because of their way of thinking.
Correct.
Mhm.
Think about it.
Correct.
We United players, about 6 of them are in the highest paid group of players. Man
And what
City
do they
has
have to
players-
show for it?
Nothing. Man City, Liverpool players are not earning as much, but they have trophies to show it.
That
We
fosters
don't have nothing.
paying incompetence that much fosters complacency, fosters mediocrity. They do not deserve that money. I say throw away the baby with the bathwater. I say sell the whole squad, promote the youth, get 1 or 2 youth men who hungry and thirsty around in different leagues, start over from scratch. It may take you our next 3 years, 4 years, but at least you know, like Liverpool, you will eventually get there.
Exactly.
Liverpool started in 2015. Now look at them.
Reboot.
I remember Liverpool fan telling me we're going to beat City. That when City was on a rampage when they make 100 points. They almost broke the arm. They almost tied with the unbeaten record. A Liverpool fan told me we're going to beat City. We're going to beat City. And I laughed in his face because City, I mean, Liverpool wasn't known for being as prolific as we know them to be now. That was in 2018. I laughed at him because under Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool was known for just making up numbers. Look at them
Capitulation.
now.
That's what they
Look
were.
at them now.
No, you look at it. Look at it, Darren. They came fourth last season. They barely made Champions League. Look at them now. Look at us. We came second. Look at us now. Complete reverse.
Yes.
This team, right? What has helped me is if you don't expect, you don't get disappointed. That's where I'm at now mentally. I don't expect a lot, so I don't get disappointed. I used to get high blood pressure.
But Tim, you can't tell me that after the season we had last season that you thought it would have ended up this bad.
Exactly.
None of us thought that.
Not
None of
this
us
bad.
thought that.
But
The
when you start
expectation was to
losing,
win the league this season.
when you lose 5-0 at home to Liverpool, you know there's a problem. 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's when it sunk in for me. Like, there's
The
no
wheels
way we're
literally
in that
came off
title
at
race.
that point. The wheels would come off.
Listen, we came third after Ole's first full season. We came second after Ole's second full season. We came into the season introducing Ronaldo. We got Varane. And we got Sancho. No United fan could tell me at no point in time, even for a stretch, we didn't believe it. Boy, if we get it right, we could win the league.
So we actually beginning of the season, we actually had a show here where we did a season prediction. And I think every single person who was on that show predicted we finished in the top four. I don't think anybody predicted that we finished winners because we still said that we were lacking the defensive midfielder. So the big issue that I thought was, yes, these were great signings of the squad, but we were also a little bit wary because we still didn't solve the defensive midfielder crisis. But none of us would have predicted that lack of not signing that defensive midfielder would cause the wheels to fall off in such a dramatic fashion. So like that to me it just baffles me. And that's also why I'm glad now that you're seeing people in the board that are in certain positions who should have identified this. Like the chief scouts are gone.
Yes.
Thank God Ed Woodward is gone.
And Matt Judge.
Matt Judge, yes. So with that being said, it's because from my experience when I served in the military here in the US, we had a saying, shit flows downhill. So at least right now they're actually starting to correct it from the top. And we should start seeing the results coming at the right people who actually have football minds and not freaking investment bankers with no experience who are only there because they're buddies with the Glazers.
Exactly.
So now, hopefully, with this being said, do I see this change happening overnight? No.
Of course
it's gonna take a couple seasons to get it right. But all I want right now is to give Ten Hag time. To give Ten Hag time to implement his system, to bring in the right players, to figure out who's there now that could actually last, and if not, to be that disciplinarian to let them out, to kick them out and bring in the right squad to get us back to where United is supposed to be.
No, I hear you say you don't expect changes to happen overnight. But I bet
no. I mean like the success, the end game success happen overnight. I see little changes coming along here and there, but I'm not talking like we go from 6th or 7th place to winning the league next season. That's what I meant by changes happening overnight.
Because I've seen one player go into a squad and the squad drastically change. One player, much less for a new manager.
Who, Virgil van Dijk?
Let me just say this. When I look at Manchester United, I think it's unrealistic to think that we're gonna do what City did the first year that Pep came in and buy 11 players in one window. I think that's ridiculous. We can't be realistic and expect that. So what's gonna happen? I expect us to play better because I expect us to play system football.
Agreed.
We're not gonna be playing talent football. We're not gonna be playing big star football. We're gonna play system football. And even a player like a Scott McTominay could look great in a system where he mightn't look great on an individual level. So I am hoping that is going to work. But for us to really reach the place where we could start to be dominant and to compete with these likes of City and Liverpool, we're going to start to need to get elite players in the system. So if we could get at De Jong, let's say, right? And maybe one other elite player. And then, in January, do some business. And then in the next window, do some business. It's going to take us a while to fill out 11 spots with elite players. You understand? Because we know we need to, even though De Gea is one of our best players this term, we need to change the hair in the back because he is not the kind of goalkeeper that is going to facilitate the kind of play where your center halves high up the pitch.
Remember, we're talking about a holistic structural change here, and we're not just talking basically on pitch. We're talking about when we talk about holistic, we talk about everybody from the foundation go up.
So the system change is going to help us, right? But for us to really reach to that elite level, you're going to need elite players in the system, and that is going to take time. And we have to be prepared to wait. The way Liverpool, I didn't hear when Klopp finished 8th his first season. I didn't hear Liverpool supporters saying Klopp out. We have to be prepared.
Because Liverpool supporters were already waiting how many decades to get something.
Yeah. But we still have to be prepared to wait.
Liverpool didn't win a title. Liverpool didn't win any kind of silverware for about 9 years or something like that. You know?
Liverpool's supporters' attitudes they were the point where, but okay, well, all right, this is first season.
We're crap anyway, so let's just we can handle this.
I mean, United fans just need to be patient.
I still expect at least a domestic cup next season.
Carabao
next season.
The easiest one is the
23-24.
Easy trophy. We can't even win that.
I said 23-24. I said 2023-24 season.
Yeah, that would be a great start.
When we will lift some form of silverware. Next season, if we do well, we would still be in Europa. I'm not saying top 4. We'd still be in that top half of the table. We would still
I'll tell you what this
again or 7.
You know what is the next thing? You know what is the next thing that scares me? We win the FA Cup, right? The Youth FA Cup. Well, we finished 3rd in the Youth League. And who did we finish 3rd behind? Liverpool and Manchester City. So these guys not just dominating senior football. They're dominating the youth football as well. So we have to recognize we have a lot of catching up to do.
100%.
Yeah, people don't realize the damage that Ed Woodward and the Glazers have truly done.
100%.
So, yeah.
That can be solved, man.
And the players' mentality has to change. The players' mentality has got to change.
Just wave the checkbook and we'll get them over.
The players' mentality has to change. Without that mentality, nothing's going to happen.
Chelsea take Lauren James from us, and she win a title already. Yeah, let's wave the checkbook. Tell her neighbor, set us back. We take 5 steps forward, and now we are 10 steps behind.
I'd say 20.
And the thing is, he opened his mouth and said, I don't want to quote him. Can't remember the quote verbatim.
Yeah.
But essentially, what he said is like, "We're a big club. We can get any player we want." And from there on, every single player we need.
He said
the exact thing he said was that we can do things in the transfer market
other clubs only could dream of, and like from there on, it just went down.
And that was an open invitation for other clubs to screw us over.
100%, 100%.
A player that worth 30 million is 60 million for us. Like,
exactly,
Fred.
You saw the way Borussia Dortmund handled us for the Sancho deal. Took what 2.5 seasons to get Sancho.
And they gave up for Haaland for 55 million. Easy.
See what I mean? This is what I'm
Well,
saying.
that was because
They probably was out for 85.
And that's what scares me for next season for Bellingham. How much he's going to cost us if we go for him.
We need to prove that we can win something with all those marquee players to lure players back to us. We can't buy big players.
Which is why a system needs to be established first and foremost, so that we can
and we need to stop buying the big name players. We're looking for one last big paycheck before they go to the US or whatever it is.
So why I am glad that Woodward's gone, because we know in his mind he sees dollar signs whenever he makes that.
Yeah, the man said that he prioritized off the field like advertisements and endorsements more than on the field success. Like, how stupid do you have to be?
Exactly, you have to be on the field,
especially someone with an investment background knowledge and all that.
Thinking.
You should know that results on the field attract teams or attract like sponsors because they want to be a part of winning programs.
It attracts fans as well. It's fans buying the tickets.
And Woodward seems to forget the one thing about this. This is Manchester United Football Club, first and foremost.
Exactly. It became a business. And once you start thinking business-wise, that's why Ole said it's not about winning trophies. So you don't need to win anything. We're still going to get fans. Are still going to come in. That's the way of thinking. And if you see City, City, okay, they're not as big as Man United, but they fight for every trophy every season, producing a winning mentality. The players think, together we achieve this, together we achieve this. What have these players won in the 5 years? Nothing, not even a sausage, nothing.
But you know what the funny thing is? While we may not have won anything in the last 5 years, and City has won something at every season in the last 5 years, we are still bigger than them as a club. So it speaks volumes
Yeah.
to the magnitude of a club.
Yeah, because
and they still can't win the Champions League.
Yeah. We can knock City for winning Champions. We can't win the Carabao Cup, brother. We can't win the Carabao Cup.
And if you want to think about how bad the situation is right now, because of Liverpool winning yesterday, now they have more overall trophies than us. They just passed us.
100%.
Yeah.
So now they have 67, we have 66. So, and like when you think about what that margin of gap was just maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and to see right now, and they look right now like they're probably going to win at least one other trophy in the next 2 seasons for sure. So that gap's going to keep on growing, and we have to we have to close down that gap that we established in the beginning. And now we have to surpass them again, and it's not going to happen overnight. So now it's so frustrating when I think about how much Ed Woodward screwed over this club.
I'm glad you, Levin. I'm just glad that you clarified next season or two, because
Alex Ferguson's hard work going up in smoke.
These Liverpool fans yesterday playing, they screaming at me when I got to the gym to set up for our event we had last night. I always out in United. And this is just after the FA Cup game. And he said, yeah, that's 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4. I said, but that's all you're getting.
Yeah.
And my face is straight like this. My face is straight like this, and I'm dead serious. I said, nobody. I said, listen, let's talk realistic and let's talk football. I said, you all are not winning the league. I said, I told him, even if City draws, you still have to do what you all need to do. And then look at it. And I say, Salah not injured, what are you all going to do? I say, that is a big, big, big blow for you all. I said, and in current form, Liverpool cannot outplay or outclass Real Madrid in 120 minutes of football. I just see it. From what I've seen.
Salah said he's available.
I hope so.
Salah said he's available.
He would say.
If you look at it, right? Look at it this way. Klopp now, he's won literally all the trophies. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, EPL, World Club Championship, Europa Super Cup, he's won all the trophies available. That's an achievement on its own, right? In 6 years, he's won all the trophies that he can win. Right? It's just about repeating the success, which is hard. City, apart from the Champions League, City have done well enough. They've done well enough. But we haven't done enough at all. We really haven't. And that's the problem. That second place and third place, I keep saying, it covered up so many cracks on the wall. It just, we came second, Liverpool came fourth. Look at the 2 teams now. Completely night and day.
The same thing happened under Mourinho too when he said it was his greatest accomplishment, and then it went up in
smoke. We were laughing at him. Remember when Mourinho said this was the best achievement he had with that team to come second? We were laughing at him. Yeah. They were 18 points behind City. That team was worse than this team.
Did you hear? Did you hear the comments Mourinho made? I think it was like a couple of months ago. He said he talked about the problems with United. He said there's 2 big problems at United, and one of them is still there.
Which is that Pogba, I suppose. It is Pogba.
No, I think that he meant Ed Woodward.
Yeah. Because he used to go on the press conference constantly saying he didn't get the players he wanted. Mourinho is not exactly innocent, but he did make some
that's my whole point.
Yeah, but the point that Jose got in that season traditionally guarantees you at least the title. Man City went on
They won another level.
Insane, sorry. The City went on an insane run. They got 100 points that season. That is unprecedented. Nobody did that before.
Right.
Jose carried us to 81 points. When was the last time we got 81 points? Tell me. Anybody in this panel, when last we get 81 points in the end of a season?
I would say back in
I
Ferguson
thought
days.
so.
What, 2012, 2013? 2012,
2013,
2013.
I think.
So Jose, no, if Jose got the backing that Ole got, we might have been contending for the league. At least
Exactly.
we would have still be winning the League Cup. We might have won an FA Cup again. Come on.
But no, Ed Woodward said, okay, yeah, we're Champions League. We don't have to invest in the squad. We can just continue with off the field and make money.
And
Yeah.
that's and
that was a time when okay, you're knocking on the door. That's the time to invest more in the squad, so you can actually get over the mountaintop because you are getting there. But
Exactly.
Ed Woodward said, okay, we're almost there. That's good enough. We can go back down to the base summit,
Yeah,
or the base camp. Yes, yeah.
Think about it. This was the team that had Fellaini. This was the team that had Fellaini in it.
Yes.
You know?
And there were
but
games
remember,
with Fellaini was saving our skin too. Eh?
Fellaini scores more goal winners, game winners than a lot of players on the current squad. Eh?
100%.
Correct.
Have 9 game winners. Eh?
Yeah,
9 game
100%.
winners.
100%.
Okay.
These guys are just lazy. The team of this season, 90% of them are lazy, especially when the club said this guy's going to be interim. Therefore, you know what? Why would we? He's going to be
like,
active.
What if
He's not
was a
gonna be there
mistake.
long.
You know what the crazy part was when Ralph first got hired on. You heard Teddy Sheringham say that was exactly what he was afraid was going to happen. and I sat there. I can tell you that I first thought, nah, they're professionals. They're going to go out there. They're going to want to play for the badge. I got it so wrong. It's not even funny. And I have to admit that I got it wrong because I thought Teddy Sheringham was wrong, but it turns out that he was spot on. So like, wow.
Players cause managers to be fired because the manager's going to be fired first before the players. Players are on contracts. You have to do something so bad to be like, fight the club and you get fired, or a case.
You have to look at it like this: which one's cheaper to replace, 1 man or 11, or a whole 11?
But how many managers have to go before you realize maybe it's not managers, maybe it's the players?
They're not good enough. They're
Sell them all. Sell them all. It is easier to sell everybody, promote the youth, lose a little bit and build over, than to keep men and over an indefinite period of time remain in that sunken place. Yeah? Come on, man. They are deteriorating the legacy of United. Season after season, deteriorate, chip away. We have become the laughing stock of the league.
100%, mate. When you get beaten by Brighton,
we were the most dominant force
and it's not just beat by Brighton. I mean, absolutely
embarrassed by Brighton.
Yes,
yeah, Watford.
We get bright tickets for a bush bath. Like really? Yeah.
Watford get relegated and they beat us 4-0.
This is what I'm saying. This is okay. Look at the Liverpool game, the 5-0 one. All the goals, most of them came from Luke Shaw and Maguire on the left. And yet they say those guys are good. They're not good enough. Honestly, they are average at most. Both of them will never make a City starting. They won't even make the bench. But they are our best players. That's the problem there. We have really poor players who are overrated and overhyped. When we start to realize they're not good enough, then we're like, you know what?
We are awarding mediocrity. Awarding mediocrity is our problem.
Too much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you guys think of Wan-Bissaka?
He is very good at tackling, but that's it.
Anyone else?
A lot of our players are just way too one-dimensional.
That guy cannot cross the ball to save his life.
Like when we first
he probably can't even cross his legs to save his life.
When we first signed him, I was like, yeah, boy, this man's tackling is real good. And I was like, he's got this down. He probably tackles better than anybody in the league, is what I said at that point. I said his position needs to improve and go on from there. And as the years have come on, we have not seen any improvement. In fact, I actually think his tackling has gotten worse because his positioning has gotten worse, and teams have realized how you get around him.
That is a ceiling.
Man got sent off versus Young Boys.
Yeah, but the scary thing about Aaron is that as much as people would big up the likes of Delo's crossing is no better. He might put more crosses in the box than Aaron, right? His forward movement might be better, but his crossing is horrible as well. Right. He has not one assist whole season. Fred had more assists than
Delo had more chance of going forward than Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, kick and run.
We need a player with his type of mentality and ability, and that foundation and basic skill. That bugger could have put in a ball. outside of the right foot, inside of the right foot, sometimes outside of the left foot.
There was
Guys,
one.
we
There was
we
one
we hear
game. Go on.
we hear. Sorry to cut you across,
You go,
Tim.
bro.
We hear over an hour now, and I want us to touch on these leak kits before before it's time to shut down.
Oh, straight. Where this
We don't
coming
know
from?
for sure that this is going to be the new kits for next season, but I just wanted to get guys' feedback. What do y'all think about these kits here?
I'll take the black one.
What's that? Training kits? Like training
All these
kits.
look like the goalkeeper's kits.
I seen because I'm seeing some other stuff. I've seen three other offerings.
Yeah.
I've seen the
Bandied
white
out.
and black.
Right? The white, a black, and a red. Sorry, a
Yeah.
green. Kind
There's
of
a yellow
kind
one
of
too,
a kind of yellowish, a black, a yellowish, a red,
and
and
there's
a
a white one, and then the red one with the collar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this black one on top of gray. That's not bad. I like that. This green and yellow, nah.
Yeah,
I
all
like
those look
that.
like stuff goalkeepers would wear. All those look like things that the goalkeepers
Exactly.
would
This
probably
yellow and green
Yeah.
are goalkeeper shirts.
Yeah,
But
that
I think the grey
actually
one.
looks like a goalkeeper shit.
I don't know. They had a grow on me, but it's possible when you look at these colors. These are definitely like probably third kit options.
Mm.
Right.
You know, your home kit would be red. Your away kit would normally be white, and then you have your third option, which might be black or any one of those colors there.
Or the black, if they're that black for a third kit is not bad.
You know what's so funny?
To show you
right?
how bad this is, I would take the zebra kit over this.
You know
And there was
what?
nothing,
have the
and there was
zebra kit,
nothing
right?
wrong with
Don't
that
get
zebra kit. But it's just ridiculous.
You know what's funny?
I have
growing
I
up,
have
right,
the zebra kit. Right?
growing up, kits used to be every 2 seasons. These days, because they're so money conscious, every season there's a new kit. So you spend a shirt, a brand new shirt.
all
The last
commercial.
shirt is
All commercial.
$120 in the US. $120 just the shirt, not the shorts, not the socks, just the shirt. You don't do
Just the
well.
shirt.
You want me to invest more. That's why I wear only classics. I do not wear no new shirts till we win a trophy. My last new shirt, I probably got as a present. I'm wearing only the glory because I'm not investing money when you're not delivering. I'm sorry, that's just me.
Yeah, but
Every
the
year,
classics
these
are so
fans
fine
spend
and
hundreds of
expensive,
millions
though.
buying shirts, and you come out and tell me you don't want to win a trophy. Get the hell out of it, man. No way.
Those classics hard to
Sad.
find, and if you find it, it's expensive same way. So
Now, if you know the right place, trust me, you know the right places.
Yeah.
The money you're buying for one, you get 4 shirts for the classes, bro. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Those
man,
situations where you just
man,
watch
They
how we
just
are.
drain every dime from it. They want you to subscribe to MUTV. They want you to keep renewing your membership. They remind you every time in advance it's time to renew. What have you
Yep.
done for me last season? Nothing. And I keep renewing.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Renew your
Nah,
trophy
man.
cabinet.
I'm so done.
Renew your trophy cabinet.
Win me a trophy. Carabao Cup is the easiest trophy. Just win it, please. Then I could say, you know what? I'll buy that kid they wore for the Carabao Cup. You know what I mean? But you can't even do that. 5 years, nothing. Come
at a
on,
bare
man.
minimum, yeah.
It's the bare
I feel
minimum.
that.
We lost at home to West Ham in this season. West Ham, West Ham under Ole. All the trophies
mind you,
we
we did the
exited
double
this
over them
season
in the
were all
league.
at home.
We get knocked out of Africa from Mills, bro.
Exactly. Atletico. All the trophies we got locked up from, all Old Trafford, all of them, all 3 of them, at home. It's bad. And Ole said, I want the fans back. Okay, 70,000 fans are there. You can't handle the pressure from the fans. That guy's confused.
He was good, but there was more fans in the stands.
I know what I mean. The guy's confused. He don't. What do you want fans? You don't want fans. Okay. We needed the fans. It was empty. Now you have the fans. You can't handle it. You're still losing more home games. Get the hell out of it, mate. Guy's confused.
For sure. Guys, we're getting ready to shut it down. For those who tuning in, remember to like. If you have not as yet, remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember also to check out Tim's channel, Soccer As We Like It. You know what I mean? I've taken in some of Tim's programmings and, Tim's
Definitely. Oh, feel free anytime. Feel free. Come on, bro. Feel free, brother.
And he
I'm gonna
gets
subscribe to it as I'm done here.
You had to, I
appreciate
subscribed already. You had to invite us, man. You got to invite us. We
Definitely, Devin's my brother,
yeah.
so I'll
yeah.
let Devin know 100%. I appreciate
I'll,
coming on your
I'll,
show.
I'll sort it out. No problem.
I
Yeah,
will.
Devin will send us. Devin will represent and send us what he needs to send us.
Yeah, send it to the
Please,
group.
thank you.
Send it to the group, Devin.
We'll do.
Thank you.
Please
And
and thank.
when I come on next time, tell my wife to get me some alcohol because I know we have to always do this. It's I like that.
This program in particular, right? This is the only program where we just drink on the program because it's
Mate.
talk.
Yeah, we can unwind.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
And the atmosphere is like, when you're lying at a bar, you don't like
Yeah.
you don't lie in the bar and talk
100%.
football with your hands empty. You must have a beverage.
Yeah. We're talking about man out there. You need a drink.
And given the way this season has gone,
You
Lord
need,
wills,
you need a
we've
few
needed it.
beverages.
When you're talking Man United, you need a drink. It's quite tough mentally.
Well, Chad, in reality, is the Sunday lunch put me down,
100%, man. But it's been
Then
an
I do
absolute
so.
pleasure
I
talking to you
jump
guys
up.
today.
I forget
man.
to
I love
set
it.
the alarm. I jump up. I say, oh shoot, it's 5:02. 3. No, I'm late.
No, I
Sometimes
appreciate
they
it.
might
I
come
really
out with my
appreciate it.
plate of food.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Chad
just
and
gonna go
Devin, I
around
appreciate
and
it. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna go
No
around
problem,
and
no problem.
give everybody the opportunity to say a final word before we shut it down. So let's start on the bottom. Let's start with the man Rahul.
Yeah, I wonder why I started it. But anyway, the foundation, then we go take it like that. Start with the foundation. Start with the 40 years support.
Hey, Raul. Hey.
Right? Greg, you know how it is. You know how it
Talk your
is.
talk. Talk your talk.
I turn it now. I make it make sense. I make
Talk
it
your
make
talk,
sense.
talk
It's not
your
Chad fault. He's not drinking Moby. Okay? Right.
Push.
I just, as I said, when it comes to United, I think in my life, my short time on this planet, my 47 years on this planet, and the 40 years following the club, I've seen it all. So I'm not surprised by anything. I'm not disappointed. I just sit, observe. I'm like a watcher. I like a watcher in the Marvel or DC universe. I just watching and hoping for the best. You understand? I just send out positive energy. Devin,
From there, Phil.
I just have one thing for Devin.
Tell Phil collect pension and she out now.
Yeah, but no, Phil should study to do some kiwi polish on the ball head.
Raul, what you have for me?
Devin, all I have to tell you is let us not have to jump in the group and say you had one job to do. Make sure and send the link.
That was not
Okay?
me. That was
Not
not
for
me.
Tim. No, you have one job to do.
Oh, it's
I
already
think he
sent.
sent it already.
No. The WhatsApp group.
It's already sent.
All right.
WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Well, he said he sent it here, so I will click it from here. But I want to say, I'm just making sure now. I just wanted to make sure that you know.
Raul, if I say I gotta do something, I don't drop the ball on that. So.
But I forget
It's in the group.
It's not Phil at the limit. It's not Phil.
I have video. I have footage here. It's in the group.
Well, it's not big Phil.
Darren, what say you to close?
Yeah. So after much wait, much anticipation, and with much anxiety and angst, we finally have our new manager at the club. He will be here tomorrow. Maybe his presence will get those guys to beat. And I'm very embarrassed to say Crystal Palace, because we have to win to at least be in Europa League. Yeah.
Of all things.
To at least cross 60 points.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. Anyway, I just want to say, guys, the manager said it. He don't mind navigating through Europa League. We need to win one match to get there, get it done. United fans who watching locally, abroad, Holy Faith, we are united. Things we are about to turn a corner. All the people that was dragging us down has left. Who left? Who didn't leave was we run them essentially. So we turning a corner. And guys, that's what us the Holy Faith. We're going to have some trophies and be proud to wear our jerseys now and not need to have mental fortitude to wear our jerseys when you walk in the street.
Greg B?
I mean, I think I kind of echo Darren's sentiments here. I mean, we all know how hellacious of a season this has been as a Manchester United fan. It is probably the worst in anybody's recent memory. I think this is coming closest to Moy's season in 13
I
worse.
years.
know
It
when
is
I say
worse.
that.
It
I
is
know when I
worse.
say that.
It is worse.
Now we can
But
finish up.
no, but the thing is, at least we might see European football next season. With Moyes, we didn't even get it. So the fact remains is that we just have to allow Eric Ten Hag to be able to get the system that works for him. With everything, with every process, there's going to be a bump along the way, and I think people have to understand that before they jump up and say after the first loss, "Oh, you're not good enough, Ten Hag out," all kinds of stuff. We have to respect certain decisions. We may not necessarily understand them, but it's like Alex Ferguson said years ago when he first started taking the United job. He said sometimes you're going to have to make decisions that are unpopular, but you have to know that you're right at the end of the day. So Ten Hag's an intelligent man. I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's just allow certain things to run its course if need be. We may not like what we're seeing at first, but we like to think that there's a bigger end game at hand. So I preach patience all the time, but we're gonna need a lot more of it now because this is not gonna be easy.
A man use the term end game there in the Manchester United multiverse. So.
Right now, Klopp and them looking like Thanos over here. I don't know. I think it's Pep had the goal and gauntlets on and snapping and looking at snappy fingers.
Devin?
He balled like Thanos anyway.
So Manchester United is my life. Like I live and breathe Manchester United. I have lived in all different types of places. Born in New York, grew up in Barbados, lived in New Jersey, here in Tampa, Florida, went to school down in Miami, joined the Marine Corps, been in Iraq, been in Afghanistan, been to all these different places. And let me tell you something right now. Every single place that I have been, and a lot of times the only reason why I made friends with these places is because of Manchester United. Manchester United has always taught me to always have the never say die mentality, and they always come back no matter what. And so right now, part of me, like it may sound weird, but part of me is kind of glad to see like what's happening right now for the sole reason that we are finding out who the true fans are.
Yeah.
The ones who are sticking by the club still.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to be very careful how I say that, because I know people will take that to however they want. But to me, Manchester United is everything to me. If it was not for Manchester United, I would not have my fiance right now. Just to tell you how much like this club means to me.
Same.
My only tattoo is a red devil over my heart. So like I'm telling you, this club means everything to me right now. So yes, it has been very difficult and very hard to watch right now. And God knows I spend way too much money on Manchester United between flying to England every season to go and watch them and buying all the shirts, everything too. And I'm not a rich guy at all, but it's how much the club means to
passion.
me.
It's a passion. Yes. It's a love. I agree with you. Look at behind me.
So it hurts. It hurts to see it. It hurts to see it right now.
Boy, again, emotional. I'll cry.
That's the point. That's the point. Go ahead, cry. But what I'm saying is like the club means so much to me. So yes, it hurts to see it right now the way that it is. But I have faith in Ten Hag, and I really hope right now that people are patient with him, especially fans, to let him implement his system and give him the time that he needs to implement it to weed out the people that shouldn't be there. I think the groundwork has been laid out. I think seeing Ed Woodward and Matt Judge gone, that's your crewing out the top. They're finally realizing, okay, you got to do some stuff there. Things are starting to look in place. Now this could be one of the last pieces that we need with Ten Hag there. So please just give him the time. And hey, we've been through this before. We have literally risen from the ashes. If you go back to the 58 Munich air disaster, we have literally risen from the ashes before, and we came back in 10 years and won the first European Cup, became the first British team to win the European Cup.
Yep.
So it is very possible for this to happen. But please, everybody, give it time, and we will be back. We will never die.
100%.
Tim?
Right. Born and raised as a Spurs fan from North London. But in the 80s, I followed United, even as United were they were not the best team. It was Liverpool who were the dominant team back in the 80s. So I've been following United over 40 years. But the fact is, I would never change. I can never support any other team. I like Spurs as my parents' family team, but United is always in my heart. It hurts. It feels painful watching this team demise so much. But I'm happy it happened this season so we can really see the real issues behind those cracks that were covering us in the second and third places. I'm glad Ten Hag is coming, but I want Ten Hag to do something. Change the mindset of these players. Change the philosophy of thinking. Change them to the way to think winning. Let them know when you wear United shirt, you're going in there to win, not just settle. I'm going to just take a point. No, United go 3 points. Trophies are United's direction, not I'm just going to like, you know what? No, go for the best. Aim for the best. And fans globally, all worldwide, we need to be patient. We need to give these guys some time to implement his philosophy. We should not expect too much too soon. If we win a trophy, that's fine. But it's all about playing good football that will lead to greater things than just playing good football and nothing coming out of it. I'd rather United play good football, but even if United lose, but they play good football than playing badly and losing badly. That I can't handle.
And at least go down fighting.
Go down fighting. Give your all. But you see players walking and strutting like they're walking a dog around the corner for a little piece of meat. That's not right. United's mentality of players has to change. If they need to get a hypnotist to do something, whatever it does to change those thinking. Players who don't want to play for the club, get them out. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, well said. All I have to say is Red Devils, we don't die, we multiply, and Ten Hag is coming.
We call that 10 Hag men. We call it 10 Hag men.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate being on your channel today. I really appreciate
Eric
it.
Ten Hag is finally here.
Of course.